Hello, my loves. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Jess from BehatiLife. Thank you so much for tuning in. I wanted to come on here really quickly and answer a question that I received from my Sacred Circle Tarot School about the tarot. And I felt like this question was so good and so frequently asked and also so misunderstood that right now would be a perfect time for me to answer it and to put it up on the YouTube for everyone to benefit from publicly. Now, I really like to steer away from these type of questions at the present moment in time, simply because I'm giving so much of my time and my energy into creating videos and content for my Sacred Circle Tarot School, and I'm probably going to continue along that process and that method of sharing information and education when it comes to tarot and eventually astrology. But I felt like me answering this one question might be okay for the public, and that it wouldn't threaten the amount of knowledge that we go through within the Sacred Circle, and that the tribe's members or the tribe members of the Sacred Circle wouldn't mind me coming on here and talking about this little tidbit, because I feel like it's such a little golden nugget and one of my favorite things to talk about. And the question is, when it comes to male and females within the tarot, do they only exclusively represent a male or a female person? For example, does the Queen of Cups, when she shows up within your tarot reading, is she exclusively a woman? The answer is no. Surprise, surprise. I know that for a lot of people and a lot of beginner to intermediate tarot readers, they look at the Queen of Cups and they're like, this is definitely a woman, or the King of Wands, or whoever the case may be when it comes to the court cards. And the court cards are Page of Cups, Knight of Cups, Queen of Cups, and King of Cups. So Knight, Queen, King, and Page. The name of each card varies depending on the tarot card, simply because the person who designs that deck can sometimes deviate from the norm when it comes to calling things traditional. And with that, you kind of have to factor that into my explanation. But for the most part, if you see a feminine card or a female card or a masculine or male card, it doesn't exclusively represent a male or a female. Now, for example, I have seen men show up as Queen of Cups reverse. And I keep on saying cups because I see that a lot of times when it shows a person's emotional vibe within that moment, emotional energy. So let's say when you see a lot of court cards within a relationship reading, then that shows a lot of people, the energy of the type of people who are in that environment. And let's say that a person is a female, but she is the director of an organization, and she's very much mind and analyzing and working with numbers and emotionally cool and emotionally distant and pulled back from the majority of the people, because that is her personality, that is her role. And that's her responsibility to come through in that way to others. So the tarot is very much traditional when it was created with the images. When I say traditional, I mean traditional in like gender roles. So masculine, during the time when the tarot was created, men were men, whatever that meant at that time, and women were women. Women were far more receiving, more gentle, more submissive, and men were these power players in the environment, and assertive and aggressive with the things that that they wanted. And also, the majority of the men were more leaders, and women at the time were supportive to the man. Well, in 2018, which is the time that I'm filming this video, and in our current day in society, women are taking in a more strong role and a more strong position within their lives. And sometimes in many households, more often now, we're seeing that women are becoming more of power players, more leaders, more assertive, and allowing that those traditional tendencies or those traits to reveal themselves. The other thing that I see in a lot of relationship readings is, let's say there is a homosexual relationship, and a woman can come across more masculine within the tarot deck, and she keeps showing up as the King of Swords, or she keeps on showing up as the Knight of Pentacles, and vice versa. When a man can come across as a feminine energy type of card. So a man can come in as a Page of Cups, even though when you look at him, he's a big guy. And big and burly, but to his core, he's so soft and sweet and sensitive. So, and it doesn't only, you know, narrow to just homosexuals. It could be anybody. Like I said before, the first example that I used is a woman who is coming across very King of Swords, or a man who's coming across Queen of Wands reversed. So when you're shuffling the cards, it's really important that you use the meaning and the description that you have learned and that you can study, but also it's very important that you factor in your own intuition, and that's something that I teach and spend a lot of time working to develop with the members of my Sacred Circle Tarot School, and I encourage them to spend more time relying on their intuition and their own memories to develop their own insight, their own gifts that were given to them before they even met me. Franklin, I'm filming, Bubba. Come on, come here. Sorry, guys. So that being said, to answer your question in a nutshell, does a tarot card exclusively, when the court card shows up, does it represent a male or a female exclusively? Absolutely not. That is a common misconception. I see it happening time and time again when tarot readers, professional, that actually do this for a living, see a King of Wands and they say, oh, this is definitely a man. You're wrong. It could be a female, unless their intuition is clearly coming through and they're very confident in their intuitive voice and intuitive messages that it is that they received, that is absolutely a gender or a sex. Then if that's the case, then by all means, you know, we'll see how that unfolds. But for the most part, don't rely exclusively on the images. The images are only there for the tarot in order to trigger the intuition. Remember that the tarot is a tool strictly, and you are the one with the gift. So use the tarot as a tool and use your gifts and when you're working readings for yourself and for others. Happy shuffling. If you guys have any more questions, please let me know. And if you're interested in joining the Sacred Circle Tarot School, the links for that will be down below. It's one-on-one mentorship with me within a group. It's live chats. It's really diving into the tarot in a very intimate way, and then, you know, onwards. All right. I love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and also thank you for sharing and leaving comments down below. Give me a thumbs up and we'll talk soon. Bye.